Well, good morning. It's Friday morning, and I'm going on a trip down memory lane. What memories do you have as a child? Where did you ride your bike? I'm going to retrace some of my steps that I used to go on back when I was 14, 15 years old. I'm here in Waterford, Connecticut, so let's go ride bikes. Let's go take a look at Seaside. I have a story behind Seaside. See, back in the 60s, Seaside was a long-term care facility. And it was for people that had some kind of a disease that they couldn't get over quite soon, and they may have been contagious, so they couldn't be home with family members. My sister spent 11 months in this place. You see, when she was just a little girl, her teacher had tuberculosis. So the whole class had to quarantine and be treated because they also had signs of tuberculosis. So this is where my sister stayed. I can remember when I was a little boy, my mother would bring me down here and I would be able to see my sister through the window right up there. And somehow I would get up there and I could wave to her through the window, and she and her little classmates would gather around the window and smile and tap on the glass and wave back. It was quite a time. I was too young really to know a lot of what was going on. I do remember my mother cried a lot. It's a lot for a parent to go through. But my sister got over it. She grew up, she went to school, and now she's a fine woman. She's a great mother and grandmother. Life goes on. It's certainly a beautiful area. They should do something with this building. It was just beautiful in its day. Well, back on the bike, let's continue. There's the Eugene O'Neill Theater. A lot of plays and concerts in the summer. Beautiful place for a picnic. I remember when my dad and my grandfather were building our houses. My granddad bought a house down here in Ridgewood Park. We lived here, right near Ocean Beach Amusement Park. That was the house. Right there, and my bedroom was upstairs on the right. Fond memories. I could see the sunrise every morning over the ocean. It's a beautiful time. Used to skateboard on this street. Me and some neighborhood kids used to hang out on this bridge, and we had an old rowboat, and we used to row around this cove, and we would sneak into the amusement park, Ocean Beach, right here. We'd climb over there and around that fence, and we were home free. Everything changes. Here on the right used to be an asphalt parking lot. This is one of my favorite parts of New London. It's on the Thames River and Guthrie Beach. And the lighthouse in the background, which is very cool, right around there somewhere. And I don't know if any of you are fans of Casey Neistat. He was one of the first YouTubers, and the only thing we have in common is we grew up in the same area, and he's done a lot of his early videos from this very same spot. Anyway, I'm going to continue. Red Shanty. This was the local hamburger joint. Here's my uncle's old marina, Burrs. New London, Connecticut's done a lot with their waterfront area. It's just beautiful. Here comes the train. Goes from Boston to New York and beyond. Back when my daughter was 2 years old, we used to come down to the other side of the river for the fireworks around the 4th of July. I'd put her on the back of my bicycle, had a little carrier seat. We used to sit right on that grassy hill. Back when me and my sister were little, we used to go over this bridge with my mom, and it was a 10-cent toll, and we would go over from Waterford to Groton to pick my dad up. He worked for a pharmaceutical company way down there with solar and wind powered LED lights. Nice setup. So when I was in my late teens, there was a blues show at this place right here. It used to be called the Bank Street Cafe back in the day. And it was a bar, and I probably was about 18 years old. I came down and I stood right here on this sidewalk, and this old beat-up Winnebago pulls up. And who gets out but Buddy Guy? Any blues aficionados would know who Buddy Guy was. And it was a little small venue, 3 feet from the stage, and this man was incredible, and he still is incredible. He's got his own place out in Chicago. It was a great night that I'll never forget. A little bit of history. So my grandma had 3 sisters and 2 brothers. And when they were little children, my great-grandpa used to give the kids a nickel apiece to go and get soda or an ice cream. And all the kids would get a soda or ice cream except one, my grandmother's oldest brother. He'd save that money and he'd get a glass of water. So time went by and he kept saving his money. And then during the Depression, he was able to have enough money to buy this marina. It's called Burr's Yacht Haven, and he kept it for many years, and he ran it with 2 of his sons. So when I was a kid, about 16, I bought an MGA sports car. It was a 1961. It wasn't in very good shape, but I learned a little bit about mechanics with that car. Anyway, the date is June 10th, 1972. It was my sister's wedding day. My good friend Terry and I took a ride in my MG in the morning, and I had bald tires on the back. I couldn't afford anything. And so he said to me, as we were going down this road and we were reaching this corner that I'm coming up to, he said, "Drive!" And I punched it. I'll show you what happened. Here we're coming up to the corner, and I'm doing about 30 miles an hour coming around this corner, and right about here, my outside rear tire blew. I spun around, I ended up in the grass, and the back hit a little stone wall there. So what did we do? Well, we picked the rear end of the car up, it wasn't that heavy, and we got it out back on the pavement. We changed the tire, got home, made it to the wedding. I don't think my parents ever found out about that. Maybe until today. So my dad's house is right up the road, and when I was a kid I used to ride my bike down here to Jordan Cove, and we would jump off this bridge and we'd go fishing here. When I got older, we had a rowboat. We'd go up the cove here and we'd have a car battery and a headlight, and we'd shine it in the water. Water was only about a foot deep, and we'd see blue crabs, and we'd scoop them up, take them home and cook them. They were pretty darn good. Time went by and I had a couple of kids, and my son and I used to come fishing here too. And he caught his first fish here. It was probably about a 8 or 10 inch flounder or flatfish. Memories. What are some of your memories? Well, that's the end of the ride for today. I can remember when I was 12 years old, I used to come down here and sit on these rocks behind me and either go fishing or jump into the water. Memories. Well, that's the end of a great 20-mile ride. You know, they say you can never go back, but sometimes it's nice and it's good for you to go down the paths that you traveled when you were much younger. Tell me, what are some of the places you used to go as a child? Let me know what some of your memories are. That's it for today.